L'opposition tchadienne ne s'est pas faite prier pour dénoncer.
Well, the opposition in Chad is not satisfied. Marine Le Pen, the National Front candidate of the French presidential race, said she met the Chadian President Idriss Deby, with whom they talked and discussed about Islamic fundamentalism and the situation in Libya. Reports of the announcement of the arrival of French policies into these issues and the attention of the international community had been opposed by the country's opposition leader, Saleh Kebzabo, who describes it as a racist and xenophobic move.
Adding to that, the Chadian opposition parties have indicated that Marine Le Pen should have been banned from visiting the country, describing her as a champion of fascist policies. They even went ahead to say that she is undertaking the visit under the pretext of meeting the French soldiers stationed in the country, but her real reasons lie elsewhere. Just to recall that the leader of France's far-right National Front Party is not the first presidential hopeful to visit the African continent. Last month, Emmanuel Macron, who is currently leading in the polls, caused uproar by suggesting French colonization of Algeria was a crime against humanity. The Patriotic Rally of Renewal opposition party in Chad said in a statement that Marine Le Pen is coming to Chad, just like the other French political elites, to seek funds for her campaign from the Chadian authorities, who are known for their generosity towards the latter. We are now joined by Mr. Saleh Kebzabo, Chad's main opposition figure and leader of the National Union for Development and Renewal Party. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us in the program today. Why are you opposed to Marine Le Pen's visit in Chad?
For all Africans like us, I think it is our duty to ensure that young people do not forget history. We cannot think that xenophobic mongers against black people can come to our soil in dignity and receive with honor like our heads of state. I do not know whether you have followed the debate of the 5 candidates on French television. I followed it from the beginning to the end, and I heard Madame Le Pen say almost all the problems that France encounters are due to immigration. She says that she will close the borders. So all the behaviors take us to take a stand and say that Madame Le Pen should not tread on Chadian soil also. And I would add that as a Chadian leader who took part in the presidential elections and who won against Idriss Deby, that Mrs. Le Pen is the first and only French personality at the provisional results of the CENI last year that congratulated the President Deby for his victory.
Nous, on a appris dans les règles françaises électorales qu'on ne va pas campagne dans les casernes.
I think for this reason she's not welcome in Chad.
Je ne vois donc pas comment elle peut aller tenir des discours politiques dans les casernes, d'une part.
I would like to conclude that if it were to come to an electoral campaign, we know that in the French electoral regulations, one does not win over the countryside in the barracks that she has to visit of the Barkhane forces. I do not see how she can go to hold political speeches if she is to leave the barracks to come to town. Chad is one of the old French colonies where there are the least French speakers. On the other hand, I do not see the votes she came to gather in the country where there are not so many Frenchmen. And finally, if it was to meet President Deby, I wonder if Deby, who must anoint the candidates in the French presidential elections.
Mr. Kebzabo, you are opposed to the visit of Marine Le Pen. And this has been a usual occurrence for for other presidential candidates visiting other countries. For example, Emmanuel Macron, who visited Algeria, and even in Germany.
I would simply say that we do not have the weight and the influence of these countries. When we go to Germany to be on the side of Angela Merkel, who is one of the greatest leaders of the European continent, we are not going to Algeria because there are a lot of voices in France, and there is a certain history between France and Algeria. All these people who come to Abidjan, Yaoundé, Cotonou, Brazzaville, I think that is not worth it. Really not worth it. It costs us dearly for nothing at all. We have no influence in France and also in the world. We have absolutely nothing to do for French history in this election. We'll let the French choose their candidates and we will deal with the ones who will be elected. That's all.
So, Mr. Kezabo, you believe that President Idriss Deby should focus more on the social tensions in the country, right?
Well, I believe that he has more urgent and important challenges as a president than welcoming in his program Madame Le Pen. Chad is a country that is broken down, financially bankrupt. To her, it is a country that cannot pay its officials. If there was no World Bank, the European Union and others, I thought that there would have been no salary for 6 months. So I think there are emergencies. There is this situation of financial concern with these patches of cotton without paying the small-scale farmers. All this is preoccupying for us. We have other important matters to take care of than to receive Madame Le Pen. Well, that was Saleh Kebzabo, Chadian opposition leader, talking to us from Chad about Marine Le Pen visiting Idriss Deby.